guys, and welcome back to more 7 Days to Die Alpha 19. I'm very excited. This is going to be a new mini-series. I say mini because we're probably going to die very quickly. It's going to be called Last Stand. The seed to this world is going to be Last Stand, all in one word, lowercase. The idea behind the Last Stand mini-series is that we're going to build our own custom base. We're going to try to build something that's a little bit in the vein of Toothy, but not really, because Toothy just doesn't work anymore. Last time it worked was in Alpha 16, but it will be dearly missed, so we're going to try something new. We'll be playing on Warrior and on Horde night every night. Because we want to build our own base, I think Warrior right now is probably high enough, but we'll see, and we might turn it up if we can. We're also going to play with loot respawn disabled. That is mainly because I don't want to listen to comments constantly telling me not to destroy containers after I looted them, because I never survive 30 days. We're also going to have maximum enemy count for the Blood Moon count, and we have airdrops disabled. This is more of a choice because airdrops distract me. Every single time I see one, I go after it, and then half a day later, I'm very disappointed, and I wasted a lot of time. And for this one, building our own base, I don't want any distractions, so we leave it turned off. As always, first things first, we're going to knock out the initial starting quests, and then we're going to go straight for the trader. We hopefully will find a nice bit of flat area that we can build on, and as always, World Gen and 7 Days to Die is amazingly flat. It's the rare sight to see a hill. Take it in. You might not see it again. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. We have a little friend down here. That's actually quite lucky because that will give us our first meat and leather, I think. So the first couple of points we want to spend on strength, but also it is very important, especially on the first night when we build our own base. We should be okay for night one, regardless of what we manage to build. So what we want to do is we want to put at least 1 point into advanced engineering, because I will not rely on finding my forge recipe. However, we're going to leave that until the end of the day, just in case we do find it on day one. So what I want to do in the beginning, of course, Sexy Saurus is something that is needed. I don't want to go into Skull Crusher or any of the Pummel Pete or Boomsticks just yet, but we will be using a hammer. The reason I don't want to go for this yet is I know Skull Crusher will give me a higher chance to knock enemies down, but seeing that we need strength anyway for heavy armor, I just rather invest 2 points into strength up front and then leave the last point for intellect. I know we're going to be using the hammer quite a lot in the beginning, but I don't want to prematurely put points in it, because I think day 2, or on Horde night every night obviously, on day 2 you will probably find that you were using the blunderbuss more, and that the number of zombies just becomes too much for you to deal with manually, like melee. We might rely more on it when we loot. Oh, that's very good. Duct tape. I like it for our forge. But in the end of the day, you want to make sure that you put the points where needed. So if we find a blunderbuss early, I might actually put points right into Boomstick instead. Because it is a shotgun, the blunderbuss, as far as I know. We probably also want to invest into armor very quickly, because that is going to be key to surviving when they actually hit you, when they get through. And also we want to make sure that when we loot, we don't lose a lot of health or get infected. From what we found on the stream was that investing 2 points already raises our mobility with full scrap armor back up to 79%, 75 or 79%, which is something we can live with very comfortably. Oh, look at that. We're getting lucky finding a bug right beside a tree. That is brilliant. I love it. Mushroom seeds. I'm probably not going to be doing any farming, so I'm not going to do any seeds. But we found a nice little schematic. Trigger group semi-schematic. I don't rely on getting experience too quickly, so I'm not really worried about that. So we're probably just going to sell it for money right now. This is a lovely little camp, so hopefully we're not going to get any vultures here, because that would just be an absolute awful start, because they would break my legs. There's no doubt about that. There might be vultures. I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a look. Oh, what do we have here underneath the seat? Very nice. I like it. And we're going to get some free cloth along the way, which is always handy. Ah. Oh! I knew it! I knew there was a bird! I knew there was a bird! I knew it was going to attack me! Holy balls, how did we not break anything? Where did that guy come from? He came straight through the ceiling and gave me a heart attack, and he's damn well proud of it, I think. Holy balls on a cracker. Genie Mac. Dogs with wings. Is there another one here? I think there might be another one here. We have to be very careful. But look at the amount of free wood and free materials. That is actually pretty awesome. Let's make a shovel just so we can actually pick everything up. See what we find here. Excellent. We got some resources, raw materials. Very good. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Nice. Beautiful. No more bird surprises? No. Okay. Whew. Excellent stuff. Look at that. We got some nice loot. We get some nice food. Beautiful. And what do we have here? Oh, very nice. There's an upgrade. Scrap that, repair that, and put it right back where we found it. And we got our first ammunition already for our future blunderbuss. What do we have in here? Pie. Great food. So we're a little bit over encumbered, but I expect that to be just the way it is in the beginning. That is very good for selling. Nice. I don't expect to craft actually much, and that's why we'll probably sell most schematics that I will probably never end up crafting, as well as military armor parts. Yeah, I will absolutely sell that. There's no point hanging on. I probably won't survive long enough. Oh, we have another weather bag. Very nice. What do we have? Oh, just something to scrap. Okay, we need paper as well, but these guys don't really give a lot of paper. I know you can destroy them, and I think you get plastic and paper from them. Maybe even a little plastic, I think. Let me see. No, actually it doesn't. Well, maybe it does, and it's just random. But I don't think it's worth it the time it takes to actually take them apart. Now, what is worth it, absolutely, every second of the day, is to completely crush it with the shovel on the cobblestone. Free cobblestone is going to be amazing. We're going to have at least day 2, we're going to have a cobblestone base, hopefully. We got a destroyed chemi station, and we got some gunpowder. Very, very good. I like it. And look at that. We got 15. This is normal loot, guys. I have not upped the loot on anything, but this is absolutely amazing because we're going to have a recipe that we can unlock, or we can just basically use it to heal up ourselves, which is really, really awesome as well. This is very lovely. We actually came across an iron vein pretty much right here at the start on the way to the trader. And we can make it, I think, close to the trader. We can build something makeshift really, really quickly. We only need a 3x3, just raise a couple of walls, leave the hole in the middle, and then we can just take care of the first night Horde. It's only going to be 3 zombies, but we definitely want to have something stronger for night 2. He did the touchies. You're not supposed to do the touchies, Charlie. I don't know what to do with you. You're just not listening, so we're gonna have to heal up on that. Luckily, we found these guys here. That is really amazing. Do they stack, actually? So if I take another one straight away... Oh, yeah, they only give 5. So it's absolutely fine. This camp here is very tempting. I think there might be vultures, which I'm not too worried about, but I think, and I could be wrong, there's already a dog or 2 in these type of camps. Lots of resources though, but we're gonna come back for that later. We have it on the map. It's a very big camp, so we're not really too worried about it, but we're very close to the trader. So let's go to the trader first and see if we can find any useful recipes, if any of the workstations work. That would be amazing. A working forge on day 1 would be absolutely fantastical. Okay, let's check out the trader. We don't have any money yet, but do you have anything useful for us? Jailbreakers, very, very handy if we find a treasure map. But again, treasure maps are like airdrops. They take a long time to take care of, so we wouldn't want to do that right at the beginning of the game. Buried treasure quests would be preferred because they actually will give us food, and food is something we need in the beginning, though I think for the first day quest, we might actually want to do a very close by, if possible, fetch quest or something like that. Can we reach any of that? No. Okay, excellent. What do you got for me? Do you have any jobs? So let's see what's close by. Absolutely nothing. There's a fetch quest which is 560 meters to the east, so we're going to be selecting that for now. Not really do it necessarily today, but we'll see. Okay, we're going to be selling all this. We're going to be selling the war money we found. We're going to be selling this as well, so that gives us already a little starting point. So let's see what you got. Under weapons, we found a level 1 pistol. That is amazing, and it is 400. Oh wow, this is actually really, really good. I'm gonna be taking that because we're gonna be finding ammunition for it, I'm pretty sure. This is really, really good. So I'm gonna be spending my money on my first weapon. That was really lucky, but again, blunderbuss is probably most likely what you're gonna end up with. And in the special loot, I didn't see anything. You might want to get a wood splitter mod or something, because I don't want to spend points in miner 69 right away or anything like that, because I want to go more into some more practical things right off the bat. And scrap armor we should be finding plenty of. Gravedigger mod also very handy. I really like that we have actually quite a huge area here for building. I don't want to build in town. Oh, is that the one with the bear, or is that... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Either way, there's good resources. Being close to the trader is great, and this is actually quite a flat area. I actually think this is completely flat, and we have a little house on the hill we could actually loot as well. So very nice big flat area. That will do. The plan is, if everything goes well, is that we have a kind of little base. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna make it 5x5 or 7x7, because the centerpiece that we're gonna have is gonna have to withstand about 4 or 5 Horde Knights. We're gonna have to be able to upgrade it, and one of the problems we're gonna have with an open base in the middle of nowhere is when the cops come, there's very little line of sight you can use. So we're gonna have to build a base that we can inside maybe have a couple of blocks that we can very tactically use line of sight to lure the cops closer to us so they don't shoot at us from the distance. Unless we have a gun and can take care of them from the distance, then I'm really not too fussed about it. Excellent. So we find a nice little flat area. Over there was a little bit hilly on some of the blocks, but this one seems to be a nice 10x10 area we can start with that doesn't seem hilly, which is really good. So I think it's pretty flat all the way across. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty flat all the way along. That is absolutely sweet. Cement mixer is sadly not working. That would be absolutely amazing. I just went back to the trader. Oh, yes. Boom. Oh, yes. Workbench not working. And, ooh, was very excited there. Was thinking, ooh, could it be? Could it be? Okay, let's see if we have a working forge. No, it's untouched. Do we get a recipe? Yes. Bam. Boom. Now, there is still a benefit of actually putting a point into advanced engineering. And not only is it that you can actually then unlock the workbench unless you find one, but it also means you can craft clue cheaper and you can craft 20% faster. So there is a benefit of still getting the points, and we keep saving that point, because if we need to go to unlock workbenches straight away, which we need intellect level 4, so we need literally 4 points, 5 points to get into advanced engineering. So hopefully we're gonna find the workbench recipe. What we need is hammers, we need wrenches, we need anything that we can use to make... Oh, there was a pot. Very, very nice. I love it. And let's see if there's anything else useful, because for the forge, we can craft a forge now. We only need clay soil. Duct tape, I have plenty of it. Short iron pipes, yeah, we're gonna go into a house, we're gonna get a toilet broken down. So we want to hurry up, because we want to build probably for the first Horde Night. We're just gonna make a 3x3, and then we're gonna destroy it and actually rebuild. So there was nothing useful in here. And is there anything in here? There's a toilet. We can't destroy it, so we're not gonna get a pipe for it. All right, and we just hit level 2 again. I'm gonna keep the points for now, because I'm not sure how luck will play. But again, in the comments, let me know below, what is your experience with runs where you actually do Horde Night every night and build your own base? If you ever have done that, you know, feel free to absolutely link some pictures to your bases, and how have you done it? What base design did you think worked really, really well? I know there's a lot of things, like I think there's the tunnel thing, Prime, I think Prime Gaming had it, if I remember the name correctly. Sorry if I didn't. He did like a tunnel thing where you can just put the hatches up and walk backwards, and I think a lot of other YouTubers used it as well, because it's very effective. But I just want to somehow try to reinvigorate some of that old toothy blood that we used to enjoy so much. First Horde Night 3x3, and then we're gonna build out and we're gonna destroy the interim walls. So we're not even gonna upgrade it a lot. I think a single upgrade will be absolutely fine. Maybe down here these we upgrade twice, but that's about it. And then all we're gonna do is put hatches all the way around on all the other sides, or one hatch at least in the center and a block on either side of it. And that way we can actually get in and out of the base, and it should hold up against the zombies for the night. And here we go. We still have plenty of time. We have plenty of wood, I think. Let me see. Yeah, we should be able to upgrade a little bit more. It's only 4 wood per upgrade. Here we go. And this should be plenty for the first Horde Night. Absolutely fine. Just to be on the safe side, we're gonna go for the full wood upgrade. And then here we can go in and out of the base. We don't really have anything to worry about. I don't think we have to upgrade any of the top blocks at all whatsoever. They're gonna be absolutely fine. And there we go. We have a nice little nightlight. We have our little square base. And this is not the toothy effect I was talking about, but once we make it bigger, we're gonna get there. So this should hold for 1 or 2 nights. And we're just gonna expand on it. And as we actually build it, this can be our temporary kind of hold, our last stand. And this is what the series is all about. We still got a little bit of time, which means we can do a little bit more gathering and actually plan out the size of our base. So just to give you the rundown, actually, now that we have a little bit of time, we're going to, oh, hello. We need to definitely upgrade this one. Yeah, the top ones are not that important. So the idea here is that these guys here on the outside, they will be normal corners, just like that. We will have half blocks or plates. So it's kind of a thing we tried out, and I'm going to show you that in more detail later when we have more time. We can actually double up here and put like a plate block here, a plate block here. And using plate blocks is very good because you get very close into the action. You can hit dogs in the face, and that's it. And the only downside is that doing that, you waste kind of like a whole block space just with a plate of extra protection. It also means you can't put traps anywhere close to it. So if you later on want to have plate traps on the walls or something, you just can't. It's just not possible because you have that extra block here. So what I want to try to do, maybe have a block normally facing on the outside, like this way, a half block facing to the outside, and then on the inside maybe have a plate on top of it, because on the inside we don't really need to build. So I'm gonna have to work out exactly how I'm gonna do this, but it's gonna be long enough so that we can have 1, 2, 3 block in the middle, 1, 2, 3, and a block here. And the reason we want a block in the middle is we want to be able to also put a block right here in the middle, probably about here. Actually, this block here probably is exactly in the middle. And then we're gonna go out here. This will be the outside corner of our base. And then we can use this block in the center to kind of run around it, you know, to get the cops to come closer. So that's kind of my idea. It's nearly time. I'm just gonna place down a couple more blocks to get the approximate size that I want. And at least we can get a head start. And once the Horde night is over, it's gonna be over very quick. We only should get 3 zombies. We can actually continue working throughout the night, which is gonna be absolutely fantastic. And to get a head start, which means we should be able to loot the building up there possibly and do our quest as well, if everything goes well. Another thing we're gonna have to pay attention to is to get transportation quick. So I am not really sure. I think we have to, if we want Grease Monkey, we're definitely gonna need to go into Intellect, and that will give us the bike mechanics and then the mini bike at Intellect level 4 as well. So you know what? I'm just gonna put both points into Intellect. End of story. That's it. Don't even care. And that probably was a really bad decision, but we'll see. And here we go. Let's do it. Hopefully they're gonna die quick. Here we go. Game stage 2, so we should be okay. They shouldn't get a chance to hit much. It's only going to be these 3. There we go. 2 for 1. That's why the hammer is just the absolute most amazing thing that you can have. No more zombies. Done. So first Horde night is so easy. You could probably even do it outside on a little 2x2 block, just running around in circles. I think you could. And now we have plenty of time for the night to actually prepare the Horde base. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of that in. So let's go. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're gonna be doing a 7x7, I think it seems. We got the attention of a couple of neighborinos. He's actually stuck. He's hitting the block there. Okay, fair enough. Now on the outside, the least we have to use is half blocks. We can't use plates, and that is otherwise that toothy-like thing will not work, because we had a lot of problems where zombies actually were able to squeeze through the gaps, even though you can't, which means they glitch through it. I can show you this in more details in a second. So we're going to put them right up here. So go to advanced, right here, and we'll leave the full blocks in the middle. And then again, we're gonna go half blocks here as well. Now the reason we're gonna leave the full blocks here is, again, we can play a little bit with the line of sight. Nothing too amazing, but it will help out a little bit, especially if they're coming like in certain angles. We just want to have as many possibilities to play around with line of sight. Now the reason we need the half blocks is, so the idea is that we are going to move to the wood-centered blocks. So the wood-centered blocks, they will go here. And on the top, I'm not really sure if we want to have hatches all the way around, but we'll see. But the point is that having this here, we can still jump through it. And if we have, say, 3 hatches here on that side, we're gonna have 3 hatches here and probably 3 hatches here and the rest full blocks, we can still jump through it because we have 2 hatches open, we can diagonally jump through it. Now, the other benefit also is that if the zombies break through, well, the main benefit is dogs. Basically, dogs cannot jump through here. They can't. So, well, at least they weren't able to when we tried it. Now, the other thing is that if a zombie destroys this block here, they can't squeeze through this gap. However, if we put a blade block here, imagine we have a blade block here, they can just literally squeeze right through here. Now, you can't, but the zombies can. So, we definitely want to leave them at least half blocks. This is what I was talking about. If we leave these 2 open, we can jump through it. Absolutely fine. Yeah. But obviously, if you have only 1 open, you can't get through it. Zombies won't be able to get through it. However, dogs, if you leave this open, they will get through. They will jump up here and they can get onto this ledge, and then they can walk right in. So be careful not to leave 1 open. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this episode here for now. I shared a lot of the plans as well, so sorry for all the waffle at the end, but I think it was important to just let you know what I'm kind of aiming for and then watch you as I miserably fail at pulling it off. So yeah, the cops are gonna be the biggest problem. So once we get to a stage where the cops show up, I'm not sure if this base will be up to par, but I think it's a good adventure. It's something new. I mean, it's using the same logical techniques that we always use, you know, with the 1 block and the hatch, but it's putting a little bit of a different spin on it and kind of trying to create something yourself. And maybe it all goes well and we find some good guns and have some really amazing Horde nights. Either way, I hope you guys had a good time with the episode. If you did, remember to kick that like button in the balls, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, as always, viel Spaß and happy gaming.